Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's been told for centuries, but its lesson is more relevant now than ever. It's about a tiny community with a very big problem. So grab a comfy seat and let's get into it. Imagine a cozy little house filled with all the things a mouse could dream of: crumbs under the table, forgotten bits of cheese, and plenty of nooks and crannies to hide in. It was a paradise, with one major catch: a sleek, silent, and incredibly sneaky cat. This cat wasn't just a pet, it was a shadow, a whisper of danger that kept every mouse on edge. Day and night, they lived in a constant state of anxiety. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the curtains sent them scurrying for their lives. The fear was exhausting, and they knew something had to change. They couldn't go on living like this. So one evening, the wisest and most respected elder mouse called a grand meeting. Mice from every corner of the house gathered in a hidden hollow behind the walls. The air was thick with tension and whispered worries. "We can't live in fear forever," the elder declared, his voice trembling slightly but firm. "This cat is clever, but we are many. We must find a way to protect ourselves, to reclaim our home and our peace of mind." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. He was right. The time for hiding was over. The time for thinking had begun. Ideas flew back and forth. "We could set traps," one mouse squeaked. "Too dangerous," another countered. "We're more likely to trap ourselves." "What if we try to make friends with it?" a younger, more optimistic mouse suggested, only to be met with a chorus of scoffs. The debate raged on. Every plan had a flaw, every strategy a loophole. It seemed hopeless. Just as despair began to set in, a young, sharp-looking mouse with bright, confident eyes stood up on a small pebble to address the assembly. He cleared his throat and announced, "Friends, I have the perfect solution. An idea so simple yet so brilliant, it will solve all our problems." Every eye in the hollow turned to him. The room fell silent, buzzing with anticipation. What could this brilliant plan be? The young mouse puffed out his chest and continued, "The problem with the cat is its stealth. It moves like a ghost. We never hear it coming until it's too late. So my plan is this: we must attach a bell to the cat's collar." A wave of excitement washed over the crowd. A bell! Of course, it was genius. With a bell around its neck, the cat could never sneak up on them again. They would hear its gentle jingle-jangle from rooms away, giving them plenty of time to dash to safety. Cheers erupted, the mice danced and celebrated. They had found their answer. They praised the young mouse for his incredible ingenuity. The elder mouse, who had remained quiet during the celebration, finally raised a paw for silence. "The idea is indeed excellent," he said, his old eyes twinkling with a hint of something other than joy. "It is without a doubt the finest solution we have heard all night. It would solve our problem completely." The mice nodded eagerly, their spirits high. "However," the elder continued, his voice dropping to a serious tone, "there is one small detail we have overlooked, one simple question that remains." The crowd leaned in, hanging on his every word. The young mouse who proposed the idea looked especially proud. The elder mouse scanned the faces of the hopeful crowd, from the youngest to the oldest. He let the silence stretch for a moment before he asked the crucial question. "The plan is perfect, but who among us will step forward to place the bell on the cat?" A sudden deafening silence fell over the assembly. The cheering stopped. The dancing ceased. The mice looked at one another, their confident expressions melting away. They looked at the floor, at the ceiling, anywhere but at the elder or at each other. The grand, foolproof plan suddenly seemed impossible. Who would be brave enough to approach the sleeping tiger, the silent predator, and tie a noisy little bell around its neck? Not one mouse volunteered, not one paw was raised. And that, my friends, is where our story ends, with a room full of brilliant ideas and a complete lack of action. The moral of this tale is incredibly powerful. A great idea is worthless without the courage to execute it. It's easy to come up with solutions from a safe distance, to talk about what should be done. We see it all the time, in meetings, in group projects, even in our own personal goals. We can strategize and plan all day long, but planning is just the beginning. The real challenge, the part that truly makes a difference, is taking that first scary step. It's having the bravery to turn a what if into a what is. It's about being the one who is willing to, metaphorically, bell the cat. Think about your own life. How many brilliant ideas are sitting in your notebooks or in the back of your mind, just waiting for a spark of courage? Maybe it's starting a business, learning a new skill, having a difficult but necessary conversation, or pursuing a passion project. The fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, that's our cat, and the bell is the action we need to take. This story isn't about mice and cats. It's about the gap between intention and action. It reminds us that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of it. So the next time you have a great idea, ask yourself the elder mouse's question: who will bell the cat? And I hope your answer will be, I will. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. I hope it gave you something to think about. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss our next one. Let me know in the comments what cat you're planning to bell in your life. Until next time, stay brave.